Yo, turn up. What's going on right now in the building? We have Francis Parker in the house tonight, guys. Welcome, Francis Parker, man. We appreciate you. Head coach Matt Morrison and star football player on the rise, the freshman, Chris White. Man, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing really well with you, Reed.
Oh man, it's awesome, man. I wanted to get in here, man, and I wanted to get going right with you guys, man, and get going. Coach Morrison, how did it feel last year winning the CIF?
It was a dream come true for me. Growing up playing for Parker football, working there as an assistant coach. My family has a long tradition at Francis Parker, and so, to be able to just be the head coach of the program was a tremendous blessing. To be able to have the season that we did and coach the kids that we had and, cap it off with the CIF championship. Dream come true is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, man. Now we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna ask real quick. Chris, how was that experience for you, man? First year freshman playing football in high school, and here you are playing in the state championship. I mean, in the high school in the CIF championship game.
Well, for me, it was really exciting. Before our bye week, we were 1-5, and it was pretty
Mm.
like life changing to see our team change a 1-5 to win 7 straight in a row to win against Castle Park. But Castle Park was
Okay.
also probably one of the hardest teams that we played out of the season. It was a good battle, but after the game, I was really happy and excited.
There you go. Okay. So we're gonna go back to you, Coach, real quick. Now you said you touched on it a little bit. Now just to let you guys know, when I called Coach Morrison up and I asked for the interview, now I knew I had a plug over there at Francis Parker because I work with his brother, Scott Morrison, who's one of the best announcers I know in town. Shout out, Scott. How you doing out there, brother? I know you watching. But me and Scott do the play-by-play for the San Diego Kings ABA basketball team here in San Diego with Abraham Muhazy and those guys and King Amanpour. I'm sitting over here going, wait a minute, this is your brother? Man, talk about that, man, and your brother being the announcer at Francis Parker and how his announcing kind of turns things up over there, man.
Well, he's not one of the best. He's the best. I don't think there's any. I certainly haven't heard anybody better. And so, it's Parker football has been a family affair in my family going back to 1997 when my dad John Morrison took over there as the head coach, and we moved out from the Midwest. And I was lucky enough to get to attend Francis Parker. I was lucky enough to get to play for him when I was in high school, and then I actually was an assistant coach when my brother played, and so I got to coach him, and we won a CIF championship his senior year as well, which was a tremendous thing for our family. I think being able to keep our family connected to Parker football now that my brother and my sister have graduated. We've been
Yeah.
very fortunate to do that. My dad is on my staff. I love the fact that I get to work with him every day. And our brother does the
Wait, so, so
PA
your
and
so,
does an
so your dad
exceptional
your
job.
dad is still on staff. So your dad is still on
He is.
staff with you guys.
Yes, he's the special teams coordinator.
Okay. Now tell me about that. Now you grew up playing at Parker yourself. Your brother played at Parker. Your dad was the head coach when you guys were playing, correct?
Yes.
How is that to translate being a player, and how do you translate that to guys like Chris White who are coming in as a freshman, and you completely understand his experience and what he's going through?
I do think that it helps connect me with the players. Having been in their shoes, and I've had some of the same teachers that Chris has this year. I've taken some of the same classes. He's probably better prepared, and his teachers probably enjoy him more than they enjoyed me.
Yeah.
But I think I do think that having gone through that has allowed me to connect with the kids on the team, and I think also it's allowed me to make sure that the way we set up our schedule and the things that we ask is a schedule that is set up so the kids can thrive academically as well as athletically. I think I'm uniquely suited to be able to do that, given that I had the same experience that the players had. Parker's a great place, but it's a demanding place, and so we try to do the best we can to make sure that our kids can thrive on the field, but more importantly, off the field.
Now, this question right here is for Chris. Chris, how are you dealing with not being in school right now and COVID-19? I hear you guys have a super crazy schedule on the computer, man. How is that, like, not being able to be social with your friends like you're used to being?
I'll say it's kind of hard, but usually I call my friends now. But for school wise, I feel like we have more time to do homework and more time to study quizzes. I'll say it's kind of hard just sitting in the classroom because I feel like I do better sitting in the classroom than on a computer. But I feel like Parker has did a lot for helping me and helping the other students who attend to helping them get the best grade they can online school.
Now, I've known Chris White, guys, since he was a youngster. Okay, he used to play over there at San Carlos Pop Warner. Chris, you have a really great relationship with a good head coach over there. He's also the president of San Carlos Pop Warner, Tashawn Johnson. Man, talk a little bit about your relationship with Tashawn Johnson, man, and how he's been influenced to you going from Pop Warner to playing now in high school.
Uh, well, Coach Deshaun's more like my uncle to me, and he's
Yeah.
practically shown me the ways and taught me that high school football is no joke, and he told me that to always show up and show out, which is probably the best motto that he taught me.
Yeah, man. So, man, we're getting it in there, man. We got some more to get into here. I got some more questions to ask both of these guys here. We're getting ready to hit into our first commercial break, guys. Shout out to AG Sports Video Production. This is your boy Reed W, the U Sports Center. Greatness allowed. We'll be right back, guys, after our first commercial. We show you guys some Francis Parker highlights.
Hi guys, Bree Spot here at KU Size Prep Picks and Report, and with me is Francis Parker's head coach, Matt Morrison. So I know you're an alumni here from Francis Parker, and you actually played quarterback here. So how special is it getting to head coach here?
It's an incredibly special opportunity. I feel very blessed to be back and around the Parker football program. Parker football has been an incredibly transformational vehicle in my life. It shaped me as a youth, and I just feel very fortunate to be able to give back to our current players. We're really big on the legacy.
Awesome, and I know your dad is former head coach John Morrison. How special is it getting to continue that legacy here?
It's exciting. I think the most fun part of it is he's on my staff, and we coached together for 7 years where he was a head coach, and this is our third year working together with me as a head coach. And so to get to come to work every day and get to work alongside my dad it was a dream of mine when I was a kid. I used to love coming to practice as a ball boy, and then got to do it as a player, got to do it as an assistant coach, and I'm very thankful that he's been able to share in my head coaching experience.
Yeah, what values are you hoping these players walk away with this season?
We have 6 core values in our program that we preach every day. We talk about accountability, making sure these kids understand that they need to be accountable for their actions, they need to stand up and own their behavior. We talk about enthusiasm. We love football. Our kids love football. We don't have a ton of kids in our program, but the ones that we have are enthusiastic, and we want to keep that. Competition is huge, and we want to make sure that our kids are as competitive as possible, both on the field and off the field. But ultimately, what ties everything together for us is love. It's a core value in our program, and it doesn't, it doesn't matter what happens with the other 5. If we lose love, then we lose everything. I love our team. I love our coaches. I love our players. And we ask them to love each other. And I think as long as we do those things, we're always very proud of the performance we put on the field.
Thanks so much for chatting with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We are back in the building right now. Coach Matt Morrison, CIF champ last year, and Chris White, freshman over there, budding freshman. Now, Coach, you had him on your team this year. You guys had a lot of players, man. Besides this freshman right here, is there any players you want to shout out, Coach, kids you want to talk about real quick?
Well, I think we've got a tremendous rising senior class. We've got 14 rising seniors who have done a great job. Their freshman year was my first year as the head coach. And those kids have been through a lot. Their freshman year, they they only got to play in 5 JV games. They went 0-5. There were a couple of those games where we didn't even have 11 guys to dress, and they went out and competed with 10. They just that's the kind of effort and the kind of competitiveness that they have. And so I'm really proud of them, and I'm excited for them to take on a leadership role within our program this year. And then we've got some very talented underclassmen like Chris and some other guys that made big plays for us down the stretch last season that were big contributors to our championship run. And so I think we have a very, very bright future ahead this season. We're just excited to be able to get on the field at some point.
Yes, that's awesome. Now, Coach, how are you dealing with the COVID-19 and not being able to have your grasp on your players like you're normally used to at about this point in time of the year? How is it for you, and how do you guys keep working together during all this?
It's an adjustment. There's no question. I mean, these are unprecedented times for everybody, and football coaches and football teams. We're no different. We've been we've tried to be proactive in making sure that we've kept in communication with all the kids on the team. We have our team split up into eight platoons, each with a captain that leads them. And so we've done weekly meetings going back to February in those groups. So it's allowed me to have FaceTime with all the kids at least once or twice a week, even if it's virtual. We do virtual workouts. We've been doing those weekly. And then today we started virtual spring practice. And so we had our entire returning team together. We don't have our incoming freshmen yet, obviously, but we had our entire returning team together, and we started going through drills. We started doing the same tackling drills we would have been doing if we had our team on the field, and we did those virtually. And then we broke off into position meetings and defensively, and we had film to watch. And so we're adjusting to the times and the circumstances, but I think that we're very fortunate that we have players who are resourceful and we have players who are committed. And they've done a great job. It's been really inspiring to see how they've worked during this time to make sure that whenever we do get back, we're ready to hit the ground running.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Now, what we do have is Chris. Now, guys, you have to understand, right? When I going to go pick Chris up sometimes in the afternoons with Deshaun Johnson, I'm like, well, yo, where are we going, Deshaun? We're driving around town, just being coaches, recruiting, doing all the stuff that we be doing. But we had to get Chris was taking a math class even outside of school. Chris is a highly intelligent kid. Chris, what's your grade point average right now?
My grade point average is a 3.5.
3.5. He carries that well. He carries on his back. Chris, you have a very strong mother who's very positive, not only just to you, but into the community and other people, me as well. Talk about your mom and the kind of impact that she's had on your life.
Well, my mom has been my mom. She's been able to help me, make me grow even during tough times. I know she's watching right now. I just want to say shout out to my mom. I love you. And she also gives me prep talks before every game, tells me to play my heart out and leave nothing on the field. And I just love her so much. Words can't describe how much I love her.
There you go. That's Miss Cicely White right there. I be trying to make people cry on my show. I be trying to make people cry on the show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, check this out, guys. We're going to take another brief break. We're going to throw in some more highlights at Francis Parker, FP, years in the making, okay? And we'll be right back with you guys, man. YSC The Show. It's your boy, Reed Dudley, here with Chris White and Coach Matt Morrison. Turn out. Getting back to it. All right, we are getting back to it. We had a couple highlights over there. You know what I'm saying? So, Chris, let me ask you. I gotta ask you this question real quick. I got some more questions for Coach, but I gotta ask you this question real quick. Now, Chris, they're putting you in there in the class of 2023. I think the class of 2023 is the best, most athletic class that will ever have came out in San Diego. Remember, I said it now. Okay. Now, Chris, they got you in there as one of the top running backs in town, man. How did that feel, man, when you see lists like that come out and your name is on them and stuff like that? And you're just a freshman. I mean, how does it make you? I mean, does your head get kind of big, or you try to keep it level headed, man? How do you do?
I kind of was humble when I was on the list.
Yeah.
What I needed to do, I knew that other people are coming for that spot, so I kept training with JVA and also Step Academy. Also, just because I want to make sure I can maintain that spot. As since I'm at the top, I want to maintain instead of take breaks off. That since I'm already at the top, I just need to train and work harder so I can maybe double my yards this year or even triple.
There you go. There you go. Shouts out to JVA, Jason Van Athletics, who was a top running back in San Diego back in his day here at Helix. And then Step Academy ran by Coach Rod Williams and Tashawn Johnson and BMO, my guy BMO out there, man. Talk about Step Academy, Chris, a little bit before we get back to Coach. Man, I mean, how long you been with Step?
I lost count of the years how long I've been with Step, but I also know that they trained me to who I am today with drills and speed work, and it really helped me to become the person I am today.
There you go. There you go. All right, now, Coach, you guys won a Division 5 CIF last year. They're moving you guys up to Division 4. Hopefully we can get rid of all this stuff. Everybody stay at home. You know what I'm saying? And we can get stuff going in the right direction. Who are you looking forward towards playing this year, or maybe colliding with this special team that you have coming back full of seniors, special kids like Chris White? Who are you guys looking forward to playing in Division 4?
Well, Mountain Empire is our season opener, so that's who I'm looking forward to. That's my coach answer. We've got a really tough schedule, both from a league perspective. Yeah, both from a league perspective and then a potential playoff perspective. So, there's a ton of good teams we're going to play, and so we're going to have to be ready to go when the season starts. Santa Fe Christian is one of the best programs in San Diego County. We played them the second game of the season, and that's a league game for us. So there's a lot on the line there. Castle Park, who we split with last year, they got us in the regular season. We got them in the playoffs. They also got moved up to Division 4, and we played them in Week 3. So those are two really tough games in the early part of the season. And I'm sure that, Castle Park's had us circled. And, their Coach Livesay has done a great job with that program, getting them turned around. They're going to be very, very tough. They bring back a good core of their team as well. So, those are some early games. But, being in the Coastal League, there's no easy games. And that's the really exciting part for us. We're moved up into the Coastal League, and so every week is going to be a battle. There's no gimmies. If you don't bring it, you're going to get beat. And to me, that's an exciting challenge. And I think our players are excited for that challenge as well.
Right now, Coach, around the city and the inner city area, this year and the past year has been a really big push to keep kids at home and to try inner city kids at home. You're still able to eat and still able to get kids to come play at Francis Parker. Tell people right now a little bit about your school and what makes playing for Francis Parker so special, Coach.
Well, it's really not playing for Francis Parker. It's about getting the chance to attend Francis Parker. I'm biased because I'm an alum, but I don't think there's a better academic high school in the country of the United States. In terms of the access you're going to get to unbelievable teachers, the resources that you're going to have in the classroom. I think the opportunity to attend that school is second to none. And so, again, we have an advantage that we're able to draw, and we have students who play all different sports from all across the county. And ultimately, wherever somebody decides to go to school is their and their family's decision. And I have, nothing but respect for that. But I think the opportunity to attend Francis Parker, it's such a special place. The academic opportunities that are available there are extraordinary, and there's not a lot of schools that offer those things. As far as our program, we try to live the same values that our school lives, and so we're really about connection and making sure that we're providing kids an opportunity to better themselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and we try to we use the football field as an extension of the classroom. Our staff is made up of guys who are teachers. In the classroom, I'm a math and PE teacher. Our offensive, defensive line coach is a science teacher. Our special teams coordinator is a health teacher. Our defensive coordinator is a social studies teacher. So we really approach the game from that perspective, using the field as a classroom to teach life lessons. And that's what our program's about. And I think if you were to ask any of our players, they would echo that.
Yeah. Now, Chris, you got any shout outs, man? Any of your players? I know you said you wanted to get your quarterback in here. You guys had a player that won an award. Chris, do you want to shout out any of your teammates right now? I want to give them show them a little love.
Well, first of all, I kind of want to shout out everyone because football is a team effort, and we need our team in order to win games. But also, I want to shout out the seniors that left this year because I know that they helped us win CIF, and they were tremendous leaders and helped us turn our season around from a rough start.
Now this year, Chris, you coming back. You're not the freshman no more. Now you're a sophomore. They got you. They be carrying that rock a little bit, man. Talk about that being a freshman, man, and you got to come on and be impact player.
Well, impact player is practically a gift because I know a lot of people don't get the chance. So all I can do is probably make the most of it and still trust my teammates like they trust in me, and we'll get the job done practically.
All right, man, I got one more commercial break. Chris answers his questions right. Coach is on fire. We'll be right back, guys. We got more Francis Parker highlights coming to you guys right now, man. We'll be back. This is our last commercial break. I'm going to finish this question off, and I'm going to let these guys go ahead and go have fun for the rest of the night. We'll be back.
The things I've been the most proud of is just about every game, the opposing coach, whether we've won or we've lost, has come over and has praised the toughness and the effort of our kids, which I think is really exciting as a coach. Those are the two things that you always want to make sure your teams have, regardless of talent.
All right, we finish up at Francis Parker. That's Isabella Walter Mead singing our national anthem, and then this is Crawford's Abdi Ali with the 52-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 13, second quarter. Crawford in field goal formation. The kick is deflected, and watch as Francis Parker's Chris White catches the tip ball and takes it 85 yards the other way. Maddie, are you looking at that? That's got Play of the Week written on it. 2013 Francis Parker. Then it's Trevor Rokowski with the 18-yard touchdown run. The final score, Francis Parker wins it 44-20.
Chris, what was going through your mind when you caught the deflected field goal?
Well, I saw Trevor tip it up, and it went straight up, and I just ran and caught it. I couldn't have done it with any of these people.
Yeah! How do you guys feel going to semifinals?
With Reed Dudley of San Diego Youth Sports Center. Yes. And Reed, you're a busy man tonight. PA, play-by-play, you're doing it all, but you do so much for the kids of San Diego. What's the reward for you?
That's what it's about. For about the last 10 years, I've been doing the Youth Sports Center, Greatness Allowed. I partnered up with AG Sports Video Production, and we've just come together to bring live video feeds of some of the top high school and youth football around San Diego County, and we even do it in some of LA and Arizona and Nevada areas as also.
And what's the motivation for you? I mean, it's Friday Night Lights. That's what it's all about.
I grew up in San Diego playing for the Skyline Tigers myself, and I always wanted to be on film like this and on camera, and I always wanted to have that feeling. As a kid, me and my friends didn't get to have it. So as I got older, I said, forget it. Let's create something for the kids of my own neighborhood. And this is my way of giving back.
It's the technology that keeps us young.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. These kids and these phones these days, man. If you can't keep up with them, you can't. But if you guys want to go check us out, we're live right now on Facebook, the Youth Sports Center, Grid News, and Information page.
With Reed Dudley of San Diego Youth Sports Center, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us on the PPR Hogcast.
Welcome back to the P. Now, Coach, I know one of the best things you guys get to do after you win a championship is going ahead to floss your rings. Did you guys get yours in yet?
We did. I think Chris has his on right now.
Come on, Chris. Let me see it. Show up for me, man. Let me see your ring, man. Yeah. Hold on, get it more in the camera, Chris. We can't see it. Get it there. Oh, it's the P on it. Oh, it's the P. Bling, bling. I heard that. That's money right there, man. That's all money, man. So, Coach, man, I'm going to ask you one time real quick, man. You got players like this, man, guys that are coming up. You know, when it comes to talking to colleges about these guys, man, I'm noticing, some coaches have great relationships with colleges. How's your relationship with trying to get your players out?
It's excellent. I think one of the things that coaches like recruiting our school because they know that the kids that they're going to look at are going to be academically at the top of the line. And so, as far as grades and test scores and qualifications, there's never going to be questions about that with Parker students. And so coaches are always excited to be on our campus. The first question that they want to know is tell me about him as a person. Tell me about his character. How hard does he work? Is he a good teammate? And, we're very fortunate that we've got players like Chris who check every single one of those boxes with flying colors. And so, everybody's film speaks for itself. Coaches can watch the film and they can make their evaluation as far as what they think the player can do at the next level. But the one thing that they know that they're going to get when they recruit Francis Parker is they're going to get strong students and they're going to get strong young men. And so, I know they're always excited to come to our campus.
Boom, there we go. And Chris, one more question for you, man. Chris, now you got them grades. You got the 3.5, man. You're going to be able to pretty much, write your way into any college that you want to, man. I mean, are you thinking about going to a D1 type school or are you thinking more Ivy League?
I think I was thinking more of a D1, maybe Ivy League. I haven't really thought about it, but my dream school is the Naval Academy.
Okay, there you go. Naval Academy, you got you one if you want one. You better go ahead and throw that offer out now. Man, here we go, man. We've been with Francis Parker, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to thank you guys for coming on tonight, just being a part of this. Years in the making. You guys, I call this years in the making because, Matt, you're born ready at Francis Parker, man, and had to come up there with your dad, like you said, being a ball boy, and now it's your turn, and you made it happen for your kids. And it's just going to be continuous after that. That's how I see it from now on, man. And Chris, congratulations to you, man, and all your accolades and future accolades. Keep them grades up. Hopefully, other kids that are in your position in the 9th grade can hear you talk about what you're doing and where you want to go for college, and maybe they can put themselves on that same pace because you can't play D1 football if you can't. So shouts out to you guys. Thank you guys for coming out. Coach, you got anything else to say?
No, Reed, just want to thank you for everything you're doing for the kids of San Diego. I really appreciate you having myself and Chris on, giving us a chance to talk about Francis Parker football. If I can, I would like to quickly shout out our graduating 2020 seniors. We had 6 unbelievable seniors last year who led us to a CIF championship. Their graduation was supposed to be this Saturday, and obviously with what's going on in the world right now, that celebration has had to have been adjusted. So they're doing some virtual celebrations this week, and I love those kids. I'm so proud of everything that they've done on and off the field. They're going to go on to do unbelievable things in college and beyond. And so, even though I can't be with them physically to celebrate their graduation, I want to make sure they know I'm thinking of them and, so proud of them and everything that they've accomplished.
Perfect. One more question for you, Chris. Now, you grew up playing Pop Warner. A lot of people, they don't give Pop Warner the props that it needs to. They just say, oh, that you played weighted or you played an unweighted football. How did Pop Warner football prepare you for high school, man?
Well, with TC, this is at Terrasana. That's when I first actually started developing my traits as running back. And La Jolla Tories decided to keep me as running back, but also expanded me to catching the ball. So they kind of just built on one another. And Terrasana, shout out to Terrasana, they're probably one of the best youth football to go to.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. Well, we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for coming on, man. This has been years in the making. Francis Parker, the yellow and gold, the yellow and brown. Yo, they in town. The yellow and brown is in town. And guys, if I get a chance to this year, hopefully we can get a live stream game out there at Francis Parker and get it turned up. You know what I'm saying? So, man, congratulations, you guys, on all your accolades, your CIF, everything out there, rings and things, man. We will see you guys soon. This has been YSC, the show, number 32. Yellow and brown in the town. Francis Parker, years in the making, guys. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.